So, we put our last hope in this mission we have codenamed Career Quest.
Let's do our homework. Okay. Sure, it's not like we have anything better to do.
Help! Help! Help!
Somebody's screaming. Let's go.
Help! Help!
What's wrong?
Some weird guy took our friend.
What did he look like?
He was weird and sort of short looking.
Which way did he go?
We don't know. How did he get them? He grabbed them from behind and then they just vanished.
What do you mean he vanished?
He just walked around that wall and vanished. Let's go check it out. Dexter, he's the short one. Do you know who took our friend?
No.
But
I think I probably know where they are. Stay here.
We'll check it out. Here, Dexter. Come out wherever you are.
Shh. There's something. Let's go see what it is.
I'm not going.
Come on, Alex. Don't be a chicken.
Okay.
Michael's paging us. Not now. Come here, Michael. We're kind of busy right now, Michael. Vexor has kidnapped some of our friends.
Your friends will be okay. Vexor can't hurt anyone in this time without messing with the timeline.
So, Michael, where are you sending us?
You'll be going to the Auburn Hills Palace to learn about basketball.
Basketball? You want us to leave our friends to learn about basketball? That doesn't make any sense. Why is basketball so important?
Mostly 80% of these boys in this time want to be a sports star. So basketball is that important. So if you want to know about people in this time, you have to go see basketball.
Once we understand how people were thinking, we can make our own career strategies of our own time.
Yes, Alex.
Morphotron, activate. Computer, energize.
Hi, I'm Dick Austin.
Hi, my name is Eric Austin.
Eric, nice to know you. Why don't you just come right around here and sit down? Hi, Dick Austin. Allison, nice to know you. Down and sit by Erica.
Hi, my name is Travis.
Good to know you, sir. Why don't you come down and sit here?
I am Patrick.
Patrick, nice to know you. Sit down there. We own this building. We own Pine Knob, which is an open-air theater about 10 miles up the road. And then you passed it when you came down from Flint. And we also have a working agreement with Oakland University to manage their Meadowbrook Theater. The difference between those two venues is Pine Knob seats 15,500, Meadowbrook seats about 7,700. So most of the time in the summer, except for the Shock, we don't do much in here. All the concerts are out at Pine Knob. But we do about 200, 220 events here a year. At Pine Knob, we do anywhere from 75 to 90. And at Meadowbrook, we do about 45. That's how you get up here. With the cameras there. Right down here, see this platform right down here? There'll be a couple cameras here. There can be a camera over there. There's usually a camera down in the stands. And when Michael Jordan used to come into town, there'd probably be 25 cameras in operation here. One camera, all it did was follow Michael.
Where are the suites located?
The suites, see where the light's on over there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first level of suites. Then right up under where you can see the lettering across there, there's another level of suites, and then one floor up, while you can see the red seats up there. There's 48 suites at the first level, 52 at the second, and 80 up here. It comes out to a total of 180 suites. The unique part of that is this building cost $73 million when it was built. But we didn't ask the Michigan people for any tax money. Okay, these suites that we talked about, and I talked about that's why we could build the palace without charging anybody any money except the people that built it. To lease that suite down there for 1 year cost $190,000. The second level is about $175,000, and the top level is about $150,000. What that gets you is 12 tickets to every event.
What's the easiest part about being a
The easiest part, all the money you make, which now lets you do many things that you want. You'll find that most of these basketball players today and in the past have come from poor backgrounds. They don't. Grant Hill is one of the few players that comes from a fairly wealthy background. So now they can go out and buy houses or cars or whatever they wanted to do. And a lot of them come from broken homes. So they really had a desire to play.
How much money can a basketball player make?
Well, Michael Jordan, just for basketball last year, got paid $33 million.
Woo-wee!
And then he made another $90 or $100 million for all his endorsements. I don't know how much he made off of movies. I don't know how much he makes off of personal appearances. The minimum, I think, this year will be around $325,000. That's the least you can make if you're on a team in the professional ranks. Then it just depends on how good you are. Where a guy like Michael, who a lot of folks are going to say, and I have to agree with him, probably the best player ever to play basketball. No matter who you ever liked or anything, he probably was the best player that ever played. He makes the most because he is the best.
About how I've got kind of two questions that go together.
Okay.
Who is the shortest basketball player?
Muggsy Bogues and Spider Webb. They were like 5'5" and 5'7". Something like 5'5" and a half and 5'7".
How tall is the average basketball player?
The average, I'd guess around 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". I grew up in the city of Detroit and played basketball for Cooley High School. Cooley High School, a few years ago, had a pretty good basketball team. They won a state title. I couldn't even carry these guys' gym bags today. That's how much better the game is. When I played, the tallest player in the city of Detroit played for us, and he was 6'4". That was the tallest player in the city of Detroit. Now, to be a good starting guard in the NBA, you got to be 6'5". It no longer can you be 6'1", 6'2", like Isaiah and Dumars and some of these guys. They're coming out of college, they're 6'5". Magic Johnson was one of the very few really big guards that could handle the ball and do all the things a guard has to do. And now they have to be that big. The problem that Muggsy Bogues and Spider Webb had, they were great basketball players, but they were playing against guys that were anywhere from 6 foot to 6'5". Well, you can't stay with a guy that's 6'5" if you're 5'7". It's almost impossible. But they were very good basketball players. The hardest part about basketball, being good enough to play in the NBA. You think of all the kids that come out of high school, and then all the kids that play college, and there's only like 400 professional basketball players in the NBA. And you take all the colleges in the country that graduate basketball players, it's a very select few that make it finally to the NBA.
What kind of training do you have to go through to be a basketball player?
What kind? Well, guys like Jordan, they probably, maybe not later on in his life, but when he was at North Carolina and then into the pros, he would have an exercise program that he would adhere to. He would have a diet that he'd adhere to. And he probably took 500 shots a day. And then maybe another 100 foul shots. Every day, 7 days a week, for maybe 10, 12 years. Rick Barry, who used to be a great basketball player, said, you must take 500 shots a day if you want to be a professional basketball player. Anything that's delivered to the palace comes through there. Like if we're having a rodeo, the big trucks with dirt just come through, go through here, just drive right out into the arena and drop their dirt. How you doing?
Now,
when the Pistons are gonna play, it's 4x8 sheets of wood we just put on top of the ice. Then we put the piston floor on top of that. So there are several times on Saturdays where the Vipers play at 1 o'clock, they finish at 3:30. We open the doors at 6 o'clock for basketball. That's the basketball floor, right over there. Basically, the basketball floor is 225 4x8 sheets. They're all lettered and numbered. You can see right here. And all they got to do is to get a corner down, and then away they go with putting it down. But that's the basketball floor. It'll be in storage. I think they're having a practice Monday, an inter-squad practice. And then there's the baskets. You can see how they're stored.
Those
They
look
just
kind of
roll out.
robots.
They put them up. A guy comes out with a stick that's 10 feet, puts it by the basket, and when it reaches there, it's fine. They have to do that before every game to make sure it's exactly 10 feet high. But that's what they have. We've never had a basketboard shattered here. There used to be a basketball player by the name of Daryl Dawkins, who was known as Chocolate Thunder, that broke 7 or 8 backboards around the NBA. But he did it on purpose. He tried to do it. And when a guy that big, and he also was a guy that went right from high school to the professional ranks.
Whoa!
But say you want to come out and see White Zombie and Pantera. Your mother says, no, you're not going out there without me. Your mother or dad can call out here and see if we have a quiet room. What the quiet room is an area where the parents can sit at no charge. We provide coffee and potato chips free. You pre-arrange to meet your child at one of the 4 doors. About 10 minutes before the concert's over, we walk the parents over to the door and they meet their child and they can go home. All that we need is that 25 parents have to call, and then we'll open up a quiet room. We've had as many as 800 parents out here. And for most of the time when we have the quote-unquote hard rock and roll concerts, we'll have somewhere between 100 and 150 parents. It's like what parents, they like it. There's a lot of parents that come more than once because they like to be able to know they can get their child. Okay. This is the visitors' dressing room. This is where the Michael Jordans, the Shaquilles, this is where they come when they come in to play the Pistons, or the visiting Viper teams, who's ever going to play the Vipers. It's also, if there's not enough room in those dressing rooms down there, this is where the backup people come for concerts. They're in this dressing room. Just a quick couple of stories about this room. When Dennis Rodman was playing for San Antonio, he was ejected from a ball game, came in, took a TV like that, threw it in a toilet in there, so we had to collect some money from him before he left the building. And a couple of years later, we were playing the New York Knicks, and Pat Riley was their coach, and we really had a bad team at that time, about 94, 95, maybe 96, and we beat them 104, 103. Pat Riley came in and put his fist right through a board exactly like this. But he knew the procedure, and he just called a security guy over and gave him $250. The doors are all geared for basketball. This palace was built for basketball first, and then anything else second, all the concerts second. Give you an idea of how far we go to take care of the players. Their towel racks, and then where the shower heads are in the shower. It's all here for the 6'5" to 7'2" player. It's just, that's the way it is.
Can you go and stand in there so you can see all the difference in height? All right. Okay.
Big difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sink, is it a little short for the basketball players?
No, the sinks are all right because they can bend over for that. But if they had the shower heads down, they'd be hitting them here on a lot of the ball players. Okay. You're gonna have to do a lot of practicing. You're gonna have, your education is very important, that you get a good education, and that you become a team player, whether it's sports or working or whatever. Very, very important qualities. The biggest thing is going to be a lot of hard work.
We're going to get to this sweet cooler slides. Oh,
Each suite comes with a bar, a telephone, a regular TV, and then a bathroom around the corner. And then there's usually what we call a suite girl. If they want food in here, they call the kitchen, and the suite girl comes down and takes care and brings the food down. She does that all evening. So there's one girl out there has about 6, 7 suites she takes care of. This suite basically is used to entertain the owner, his family, his friends, anybody at the Pistons, with Arena Associates that wants to entertain. Yeah. The concerts are around. Remember I told you the stage is right there, or it's right here. So this is a pretty nice way to be able to watch an event. If you don't like the event, you can just go back inside and shut the door and not listen to it. If you've been to a concert here, the one thing that is prevalent with every concert we have here, it's really loud. You can't hear yourself think. You wouldn't even be able to hear me. I think I'm talking fairly loud. You wouldn't even be able to hear me right now if there was a concert going on. It's just impossible, it's so loud. The other thing that we've put in, that we've had to but we have in the last couple of years, is a mosh pit. And that's right down here on the floor. You buy a ticket to get into the mosh pit, and you're there for the whole evening.
What's a mosh pit?
Well, that's where the kids dance.
Cool.
There's no chairs in there, but they dance. And they slam dance and body surf, it's called.
Where?
Huh?
Where?
Right down here.
On the ice or something?
Well, no, the wood would be on top of the ice, and they're right in there on that. And the boards act as the fence, and then we, out back here, we put up kind of another fence, and we get 4,000 or 5,000 kids in there at times. You don't see many adults down there, no matter what. There's not many adults that go into the.
Oh,
see, he's a mosher.
There's one.
Big size, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a piece of plastic. Posters, which you could see. You would like stand up against them and see how tall you were against like Grant Hill or somebody.
He's taller than me.
Muggsy Bogues is 5'3". There's this like tiger guy. Can I take a drink? I want to see Big Grant's shoes. That's Bigfoot's shoe. That's Shaquille O'Neal's shoe. Bigfoot's shoes.
I can fix them.
That's 8.5.
Michael, this that's how long this is. Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan.
Corner that tells the shoe size.
You kids might as well move out of those bodies. I know who you are and you're coming with me. You will pay for what you have done. Prepare to put the dentures in your mouths, old timers.
What are you talking about?
More for your bodies?
Old timers?
Don't play stupid. I must have grabbed the wrong kids. You, how old are you?
9.
You're right, you're 9 and I'm an idiot.
Obviously.
Shut up. Look at this. You just wanted out to get away from school. You never saw me. Nothing happened.
We wandered away from school. Nothing ever happened. We never saw you.
Get out. Hey, I've been looking for you, guys. Are you alright?
Yeah, nothing really happened. We gotta go.
Hello, what can I do for you today?
I'm just for an interview about basketball, and I was going to ask you a few basic rules for the game.
Well, sure, have a seat.
Well, what would you say the easiest part of getting into basketball would be?
Well, the easiest way to get into basketball is to get interested in the game first and then learn some of the basics. And we teach most of the basics in elementary school.
Okay. What would you say, what would be the best year, what age would be the best time to start playing basketball?
Well, there's a big question about the age. They say you can start at an early age, 6 and 7, but I think the best age to start at is 8 and 9 years old. At that age, the competition is not as great, and it's not really hard for you to get adapted to basketball at that age.
Okay. What would you say if you were a referee in the game and someone didn't make the right call, but you was going for the team?
Well, if the referee didn't make the right call, I would question him about it, but I wouldn't make a big deal about it. Just make sure when I question him, I want him to watch closely the next time.
Okay. Should your grades matter when you play basketball?
Grades make a big difference. In high school, they won't let you play basketball unless your grades are up. They have what they call an eligibility card that the student has to take around to each teacher. And if the teacher doesn't sign that eligibility card, that's one mark against them, then they won't be able to play in that game, the upcoming game. So the grades are real important. And they also matter when you get to college. You have to keep a certain grade point average to stay on the team.
How would you get on the basketball team in college?
Well, when they offer basketball tryouts, you'd have to try out first. And when you go to tryouts, you have to pay attention. You have to do the best you can. And you have to mainly show some improvement.
Okay.
That's in order for the coach to keep an eye on you. If you're not showing any improvement, the coach will just kind of overlook you.
Okay. How many kids try out for teams in college?
Oh, in college, you have up to maybe 100 kids trying out, maybe more.
Okay. Let's see.
When you try out for basketball, a lot of the kids don't make it their first year, and they end up playing on the intramural basketball team. But in college, when you're playing intramural, the coach is also looking at you there too.
Okay. How would you get accepted to the NBA from college?
Well, you have to be an exceptional player to be accepted in the NBA from college. Yeah, I mean, like you have to have a high scoring record, maybe play good defense. One of the coaches may be looking for a good rebounder. You don't necessarily have to have all of those talents to get into the NBA, but at least one of them would help.
Okay. What would you say if a person wasn't good with the ball but was a good defensive player, would you accept him on the team?
If he was a good ball handler, I would have a position for him, but it wouldn't guarantee him that he wouldn't guarantee him a starting position.
I mean, when I asked you the question about how do they get accepted to the NBA, how would you say do a coach have to be at the game to accept you, or does he call you or write you a letter?
Well, a lot of times the coaches, they come and watch you play, and then they put your name down on the draft list. Pro coaches put your name down on the draft list. They may have maybe 1,500 names on the list, and they'll watch you throughout the season, and then they'll make their determination whether they want you on the team or not during the draft time, when it's time to draft you.
If you're a good player outside of the playground playing basketball, do you think you should probably make the team?
Not necessarily. A lot of kids out on the playground playing basketball, you may see some that play like Michael Jordan, but that does not mean that they can play organized ball and play at that level when they get into high school and college. See, that's the misconception that a lot of kids have about playing basketball. They all think they're good, but when they get in organized ball, that's when everything falls apart. So it's real important that the main thing you do is keep up your grades and keep everything up here.
Okay,
Keep it-
now do you think you show me some basics?
Sure, I can show you some basics.
So dribbling.
Okay, I have to get a basketball. All right, one of the things that kids have trouble with is dribbling. They like to dribble the ball by looking down at the floor. That's good because you know where the ball is, but you don't need to look down at the floor. You can keep your head up. You want to look at your teammates and see where they are so you know who to pass the ball to. So you don't need to look at the ball. Always keep your head up when you're dribbling. And in shooting the basketball, it's all in the rotation. This is your shooting hand. This is your guide hand. Let me put the ball down. This is your guide hand. You're going to shoot with this hand, and this hand is going to guide the ball. These are just some of the basic rules that you need to know about basketball.
Let's see. What would you say would be the best technique of shooting? To shoot the threes.
The best technique of shooting? Shooting threes? Well, in elementary school, threes are not important because at that age they don't like kids that are shooting 3-pointers. But when you get into a competitive stage, 3-pointers are basically something that you practice on a lot and that you are good at shooting. It's hard to teach someone to shoot 3-pointers. But when shooting, keep your head up at the basket.
What would you say the best technique of shooting free throws?
The best technique for shooting free throws? Well, I've learned standing parallel to the basket. And if you go to a gym, you notice there's a nail right here in the floor. That signifies the center of the floor. Okay, there's one down at each basket. You want to straddle that nail, you always face the basket. Keep your head up. Like I said, you don't need to watch the ball to dribble the ball. All right. All right. You want to try one? All right. Just remember, this is your shooting hand. When you release that ball, keep that hand up there facing it, aiming it towards the basket. Just roll the nail down. Straddle that. You don't want to stand with your feet together. You bend your knees when you shoot. Boy, I'm a good teacher. That was good. That was good.
You know the fancy dribbling through your legs and take the ball through your legs. Does that help you or not?
Yeah, it does help you. It keeps the defense on their toes, and it also keeps you alert. When you take the ball through your legs, that means you're going to bring the ball back to this side and leave the defense over on this side. If you keep the ball here, the defense is going to be able to do it. You're using your body to protect the ball from the defense. So the defensive players back on this side. But it does help. But it's all something that you have to practice on. You just can't go and play a game and thinking that you can dribble between your legs anytime you get ready.
What'd you say? How many times should they shoot just to practice shooting?
To practice shooting, you'd like to start out by just shooting maybe 15, 20 times from each spot. And don't get used to that one spot. Then you become a spot shooter. And a lot of coaches don't look for spot shooters. They look for someone who can shoot from anywhere on the floor.
If somebody tells you to shoot at least 300 shots,
That's what you'll end up doing. You start out small and then you work your way up. Don't start out trying to shoot 300 shots a day from the beginning. You have to work your way up to it.
okay. Thanks for doing this.
You're welcome. And good luck, all right?
Don't forget to write us at Roy Ryder Elementary, 1020 North Saginaw Street, Flint, Michigan, at 4501.